evening, everyone. I promise to make this quick and snappy, and it's about the future of work. It's something that we all should be worried about. Is technology going to take our jobs? I mean, that's the first thing that comes to mind when you think about AI. And it's not something that I'm just saying, because there is precedence as well. When computerization happened, there was a lot of protests in banks because all those who were sitting with those long books and making ledgers said, "Oh, our jobs are going because of computerization." And yes, a certain amount of jobs went away, but they had to be reskilled. Similarly, if you look at assembly line production, there were people sitting and putting together components, and then robots came in. And then you had to have one person upskilled to monitor the robots, so the skill changed. So the future of work that way is going to be changing dynamically. And here I have with me some of the people leading some of the biggest industries here in healthcare, in financial services, and in IT services. So I think the biggest area of impact would probably be IT services. So I'll start with Kirti said. How is technology going to be changing the future of work, and should people be worried? Because yes, coders right now are a worried lot, right?
So thanks, Roshan, for that question. Just to be a little provocative, I actually noted down something before coming to this talk. I went to LinkedIn. I guess everybody knows what that little portal is. So, and I went to, ask what are the trends of how jobs are changing? Yeah. So there was a surprising article that says between Q2 of this year and Q1 of this year, the top jobs that are coming on the portal, and there has been no change between Q2 and Q1. Number 1 is a salesperson. Number 2 is retail salesperson. Number 3 is software engineer. Number 4 is registered nurse. Number 5 is project manager. Number 6 is sales manager. So that's the good news, I guess, that yes, technology is changing a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff is staying the same. Should people be worried? Yes. If you aren't getting with the program, which means upskilling yourself, if you're getting out of date, yes, you should be worried. The good news, in the IT sector at least, there's an uptick in hiring, which means companies are coming back to hire more, linked to the business cycle, which is good news, which means that contracts are coming in, people are hiring again, but they are hiring people with the right skills. So AI won't take your job, but someone who knows AI will. Accenture, not Accenture, I can't remember the name, but there was a research that was published that in IT, there's going to be a 20% increase in productivity because of AI, which means 20% less jobs. But we just heard the 2 panels before. Everyone's digitalizing, everyone's using AI, everyone's doing data analytics. So better learn some AI, learn some Gen AI, become a prompt engineer, learn some data analytics. I think you're good.
Absolutely. So the skill sets are going to be changing, and you need to upskill yourself. Hina, first to come to you in the financial services space. Do we have more mics? Okay. In the financial services space, how is AI impacting, and digital technology itself impacting the financial services space? I know there's a lot of positive impact in the way, the speed at which you can analyze the customer's data, provide loans, underwriting, all of that, can change really fast. But otherwise, how is AI impacting the jobs here?
So I want to pick from where Kirti left. Rightly said. So I would quote this in one word: evolve or evaporate. So AI rightly mean that AI is not, automation is not going to take a job for anyone. But yes, we have to keep skilling ourselves, upskilling ourselves. And that's the need of the hour. And when I talk about the question, you say that what are the changes to the BFSI sector? Starting from the digitization and experience for, onboarding of the customer, the process involved into onboarding, the customer experience has also taken a next level. So in the previous, panel discussions and fire chats, we heard that how the customer, instead of a consumer, become a demanding customer. So that's the need of the hour. On the similar side, when we say this turn is being changed on the job front side also, if it says how it is impacting, it is not only the need of the organization. When I say that, yes, I need the manpower or people with AI tools, but parallelly, the people see that what is the organization doing, at a AI and automation front, how I can keep myself upskilling. So that's another piece which I wanted to touch upon.
Right. Monica, if I was to come to you, see, just to take this a little ahead, see, India has a very large population. Okay, the largest population in the world right now. But a large part of our population is not employable. There have been studies that have shown that we really need to change our skill sets if we need to employ the set of the population. So in your organization, have you seen with the role of with technology coming in, is there a kind of a redundancy? What are the kind of change in manpower requirements that you've seen?
Thanks, that's a wonderful question. At HealthCart, we were always known as an e-commerce company, but the fact is that we are omni-channel. Not just e-commerce, but we are omni-channel. But the power of technology in our organization is, I would say, ahead of its times. In fact, we digitized and HR was completely paperless long ago. And we started using AI about 5 years back. Having said that, there is a lot of curiosity in people about what is this AI and it's taking away jobs. There's so much of insecurity. The fact is that in our generation, we've seen the advent of computers and then the advent of the phone. Today, I was telling somebody I'm very rich if I have only the phone in my hand because I can still buy things, right? And guess what? We can pay even the auto rickshaw wala or the pan wala with that mobile phone and he's accepting. In fact, I actually saw a beggar saying, ki Paytm kar do mujhe paise. So just imagine, we are saying that we are able to, e-commerce the entire country, but there won't be jobs. It's not possible. Everyone is educated enough to know what is in it for me, and therefore, there is lots and lots of employment for everybody. At our organization, we've not faced this challenge that when we digitized, we found people were redundant or left or nothing like that. You actually become smarter, you add on more knowledge to yourself, and digital and AI, I've seen the power in HR. And I think organizations will feel that. The only catch is that you have to be ready to change with the times and adopt.
Right. And I'd like to take this same question to the others also because there's a lot to talk about in this. Kirti, with the kind of manpower that we have in India, are they really employable? And if not, what needs to be done to change the kind of skill sets?
So I guess as part of, as heading the Sector Skills Council, this is the life that we lead to say how do we improve the employability ratios. I think we've taken, we've been a bit lazy as a country, and the blame can be at many doorsteps, but let's not go there. In 2020, they launched the National Education Policy, which in my mind is a game changer if we are actually able to implement. And I've been now in conversations with AICTE, which is the regulator for technical institutions, UGC, which is the regulator for non-technical institutions, so pretty much covers the gamut of higher education. I think they are seized of the problem finally, that yes, we need to do something. The policy framework has changed, allowing colleges. The biggest problem is we don't have enough teachers, colleges can't change in time, the right content is not available. Technology is changing so fast, how do you update the curriculum? It takes 2 years to update curriculum. You're behind the curve before the year even began. But now opening it up to hybrid learning, opening it up to e-learning, allowing people to learn from wherever the learning is available, that's one big step. Now the responsibility is on the student to demand this learning, to say, allow it, I want to learn it, give me access. So that's one thing that will address the issue. The other big issue is, as machines do a lot of work, there is a need for more people skills. which is human skills, problem solving, creativity, communication. We've heard that ad nauseum, that this is what our country needs, and our school system does not prepare people for that. So how is that going to change? Because it's those skills that are preventing people from being employed. A large chunk don't get a job, not because of their technical skills, but because of their soft skills. So this is a concern, and this is currently not being addressed as well as it should be. However, the problem is known, and it's known in the right circles. So funding, I think, will become available. So I think that bit will also get addressed. So the good news is that everybody knows the problem. We kind of have a sense of what is the solution. Now it's a question of implementation. So I think things are going to change. Competition amongst education institutions has increased, so they are also upping their game. So yeah, lots going on in terms of improving this. Integrating skills with education, I think, is a big step in that direction. The platform that we run at Future Skills Prime, which is a technology skilling platform, which also has professional skills, that has been approved in education institutions for people to come and take courses from there. So now access is not a problem. Now if students are not getting skilled and are not employable, it's their fault.
Right. No, it's interesting you brought up the new education policy, because that does give a lot of vocational training. It also allows for flexibility in choosing the kind of subjects that you want, unlike the previous regime where you just had these fixed subjects and this is what you had to study. That said, there are a lot of programs available online as well now. You just mentioned LinkedIn. You can take courses and upskill and get your certification done. But just to take this discussion ahead, we're talking about technology and how it impacts work. And one very big impact I think we all saw was during the pandemic. Straight away, people went to a work from home model, right? Now, that remote work model had its challenges. Of course, those in the manufacturing sector and on all of that, they had to adapt in some way or the other. But those who are in the services business or connected digitally, they could easily adapt, right? So after that, we've now seen in the last 2-3 years, whether it's a TCS or an Infosys, they all started calling people back to work. So Hina, I want to take this to you, the question on remote work. Does it really work for us? So the future of work, is it remote or is it still in the office?
So, well, beautiful question, which being the chief people fraternity, people keep asking. I see that work from office is the future. There is a difference, work from home or a remote working can be given basis the requirement. It can be an option, but cannot be leveraged as a, the time. Because way back in COVID, when we started, so that was the need of the hour. And to India, we adapted well. And that was the first time.
Yeah.
Right. But the future is work from office only. There are various reasons to it. We say that AI is there, automation, we are doing. But no matter how much automation and AI we grow ahead, a personal touch is still required. And there are roles which require a discussion. There are roles which can be remotely managed, but managing the people function, I see the productivity enhances when we are in the office. I may differ in view, from my other panelists, but I think a blend of both would work. As per the need of the hour, the organizations should be open.
Okay. Kirti, what about in the tech space? Because
so, ironically, I agree with you. There are so many things, and you notice it, like when you say, let's not do this over Zoom, let's meet in office and do this. So many things just get sorted out like that when you meet face to face. Managing remotely is a nightmare. You have absolutely no idea what that person is doing. It's okay to say, as long as they're meeting their deliverables, but who's to say that they are doing 2 deliverables remotely, but they could do 5 when they're in the office because they talk with her, they talk with her, they talk with you. They sort out 3 things while they're in the office in one day, which would probably take 2 weeks in a virtual situation. I think socially, emotionally, office is important. I have my son's friend has got a job in the US and it's a fully remote job. A very good job, paying very well, but she's unhappy. She's saying, I don't want to be fully remote. There's this whole aspect of life that is completely missing. Because when you're working, where are you going to meet people? You're not going to bars and hanging out and, trying to... So your whole social infrastructure, then you have to rely on your school and college mates who've all moved off onto other jobs. So that social equity is just missing. So in my view, the costs of remote work, the intangible costs of remote work are very high. So I would also say, but again, I agree with Hina saying, keep it flexible. If today you have meetings which are outside, you can do it virtually, do it virtually.
Hybrid?
I love hybrid.
Okay.
Big proponent of hybrid.
Right.
Default work from home, but if you need default work from office, but if you need to work from home now and then, it's fine.
Right. So since we're talking, technology and the way it is impacting work, Monica, if I was to come to you, keeping with the same question on remote work, isn't it easier to hire better talent? Maybe there's somebody really talented sitting all the way down in Tirunelveli or somewhere like that, and you're not finding talent here in Delhi. So do you think with technology that it would be easier then to have this kind of a hybrid or remote work model as the future?
I would give a mid-path answer to that also. I would absolutely tend to agree with Hina and Kirti, my co-panelists here, a bit with you. I'll tell you a story. When we were in the COVID era, we were all working from home, and then gradually we came back to office. In fact, we had moved an office, opened a swankier office, in a different building, got everybody together, and people raced back to office. And this is the young crowd. Our, the average age in our company is around 28, 30. And I used to be asked by my friends, in the HR world, how did you manage it? We are struggling to pull them back. And I said, I don't know. They just wanted to come back to office. Okay. So the culture elements of working together and, walking across and solving your problems, the water cooler conversation, what we used to call earlier, versus a Zoom conversation where sometimes, you can blame it on technology, connection chala gaya, light chali gayi, all of that will happen, versus sitting with each other and resolving issues. From an HR perspective, I think that's better. As far as talent is concerned, depends on the kind of job you're looking for. So if it's a technology job where in our organization, the tech team still works hybrid model. They come only thrice a week to office versus everybody else. But depends. So if it's a rare skill and it's difficult to get in India, then we need to train somebody. Till the time we train somebody to take on that job, we find somebody who's willing to work with us as a consultant long distance. But again, that's a short term. Like I said, mid-path answer hai. It's a short term. And it is always good to be physically present in office. Nothing can take away nothing can replace the human touch.
Okay.
And to your point of India has a huge population, koi na koi to mil jayega.
Koi na koi zarur mil jayega, nahi to train kar denge.
But that's where you come in, right? Koi na koi to mil jayega, but they should have the right skills. Yes. So it's all about the skilling.
We need to train them. Right. So till the time we train, we can get somebody to work with you as a consultant, but nothing can replace the charm of working in an office. Even the tech guys want to come back in our company.
Just to add on, being highest populated country will certainly get.
Great. Okay, so now, again, coming back to the first question which I had, and which is with the basis which we started this discussion, the future of work. AI and its ethical connotations in the workplace. How are you dealing with it? How are you encouraging or not encouraging your employees to work with AI for your business?
When I talk about, you rightly said, AI, we see the productive side of it, but there are side effects. So at our organization, we do promote. the automation, help of AI, because we all agree today that with the help of AI, our day-to-day operational things become easier. So be it even an operational thing, we would wonder a risk manager or an operation manager can take a help of a IT and by putting in algorithms can pull the data or cull or automate the things, and can get the task done instead of 2 days in half a day job or maybe 2 hours job. So we do promote. But as you rightly said, we allow, parallelly we need to see that how our productivity and efficiency is increasing, what are the other backsides of it. So there should be a close watch to it, but yes, we give a preference.
And in the tech space, I mean, these days code can be written in seconds by an AI, right? So with the companies that you're working with in your NASSCOM, wearing your NASSCOM hat, what's the kind of feeling you're getting over there? AI, yes, no?
There's no choice. I mean, this genie is not going back in the bottle. So AI, yes. All companies are using AI to enhance productivity. I don't think any coder is just writing on their own. Why would they? They'll become uncompetitive. Things like testing are being done through AI as well. So as much as can be done by AI, so man and machine need to work together now. I think that's a given. The ethics of AI is something that I think the entire industry is now seized off. At NASSCOM itself, we have a responsible AI guidelines, which we've read, which we've all read and signed up to. The industry has signed up to. UNESCO has a global responsible AI guideline, which India has subscribed to. We've just launched a course on Future Skills Prime on responsible AI. And as part of the AI mission, there's this whole idea of AI for all. It's not about teaching everyone AI, it's about teaching them to use AI tools. Because if you don't do that, your citizenry is just left out of this race. And if they can use these tools, it leads to business being generated. It leads to then the middle layer actually creating applications. It leads to the top layer actually developing algorithms. So there's a virtuous cycle that builds up. So very important as a country to take AI in the right spirit. Many problems with AI as we're seeing across the world, and we're learning. India is learning from what the EU is doing and what the US is doing. There are challenges. But I think it's a technology we'll have to learn to work with. We can't ignore it. And if we do, we'll just be left behind. So as a country, we just can't do it. And as a Sector Skills Council, we need to look at the entire gamut, starting from, for example, there's a PM Vishwakarma scheme, which is for artisans and craftspeople. There is a 6-hour module on digital fluency that has been put in that, where even an illiterate person can watch videos, can translate those videos in their own language, can speak commands and learn. So I think there is a massive push to say we need to do this AI for all. And of course, with other sectors, whether it's, the kind of companies that are coming onto the platform, ONGC, GAIL, Vedanta, Apollo Hospital. So such a wide swathe. Everyone realizes that we have to get enabled and make ourselves familiar with this technology.
Okay. And Monica, I'll let you have the last word on this. How are you encouraging your workforce for the use of AI?
So I have been using AI in employee engagement. And sometimes, it's easier to talk to a chatbot and get it out of your system, especially if you're an introvert. And we get to know that there are issues and we address them. We can always follow it up with conversations. And that has been taken very well in my organization, I should say. So sometimes if an HRBP has forgotten to follow up the conversation, the employee walks up to me and tells me, I wrote something to your chatbot, nobody got back to me. So that's the power of AI. And secondly, AI, I'm going to be now dabbling in recruitment. It can be very, very handy. So it is a very powerful tool in the hands of recruiters. It really brings up efficiency levels. and the amount of data dumps that we work with nowadays, I think it's important to know how to use the power of AI. And like Kirti said, if we don't do what the world is already doing, we don't want to be left behind. So we have to not only catch up with the times, but be ahead of the times if possible.
Right. And with that,
So if we have a time just
Yeah,
to,
quickly.
add on quickly, not only the recruitments, but per se onboarding and the employee experience, without AI and automation, it would have not been possible.
right. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's the future of work for you. AI is here to stay, and you can see the various implementations of it in the organizations right here. And with that, I mean, I would have loved to take questions, but we are out of time. So, in the interest of time, I shall just wrap this panel up right here. And of course, AI is going to help me with my job as well, because this interview can be transcribed right now, and in 2 minutes it can be out on the site as well. So, all right, thank you very much for joining me.